home warranties, regardless of who they are not designed for emergency. They're there. They're to that, and in a lot of cases now, even if they didn't have a home warranty, they're not going to have someone there within an hour. Especially with the new world we live in, because lack of contractors.
The community. And we'll get going. Mark, where are you at, man? What city?
I'm based out of actually right now Clarkston, Michigan. It's just about 40 miles north of downtown Detroit.
I know exactly where that is. My business partner lives in that town. So
yeah, it's a very nice town.
Wow.
So I've been here now at this particular address for about 10 years. And I've been with 210 Home Buyers. I've been in the home warranty business since 1986 in one form or the other. And I always tell my clients, agents, I have the experience to leverage to go to work for you or be your advocate. Anyways, with that said, I've been with 210 now going on 4 years. And I enjoy my little slogan at 210, I commit to you, 2 times the commitment, but 10 times the service. And great company, very comprehensive coverage for the money spent. And we also are a new construction 10-year builder. In fact, that's 210's claim to fame. That's how they started, with the new construction 10-year home warranties for the builders. And I believe 210 is the largest provider of that type of warranty in the nation.
Nice.
And then my experience goes back to home warranties to 1986. And like I said before, I spent many, I was a partner in a home warranty firm here, regional, back in the late 90s into the early 2000s, until we sold that company to, I would just say, Brand X. And I worked for them in sales and management for a good 20 years, it seems like. Before college, I was in the military and served during Desert Storm. And
oh, wow.
Between real estate, the military, and home warranties, and raising 2 kids, they're grown, and that's all I really know. And I've been fortunate to be blessed with great relationships and realtors like Marianne out there. So Marianne, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely.
I love it. Marianne, where are you located?
So, in Michigan, they always you get the hand right here. I'm in Livingston County. So about a half an hour north of Ann Arbor.
I know where you're at too. That's super cool. I love that. And Penny says hello from Michigan. So what's up, Penny? I love that. So Marianne, this webinar is titled Giving Thanks for a Home Warranty. And you're the person that we're going to go to on this, because that's what it's about here. We want to understand what this looks like, home warranty, in your business, because a lot of people just assume that it's something that real estate agents tack on to the seller, to the buyer. But tell me how you use it differently, where it actually has more of an impact in your business.
Sure. So as a realtor, your focus is to make sure your clients are taken care of, and you're taking all the anxiety and all the stress out, and make sure it's a seamless transaction. And you don't like getting those phone calls kind of after the sale that say, this happened with my house, what do I do about it? I personally purchase a home warranty on my house every single year.
It's 210, and it's 210, right?
Yes, it's 210. And, from a direct experience as a realtor, it's so much easier to share stories about the success of how these things help other people. And they buy your story. They understand, what you're going through. So I tell people, I've gotten 2 brand new furnaces in the middle of wintertime. They both quit within 3 weeks of each other. I got a new control panel on my box for my furnace. I got a brand new double oven. I got a washer and dryer. Those things have paid off immeasurably over the years. So I can make a testimony of how they help from a standpoint of like not having extra costs that you ever anticipated, but also peace of mind.
Marianne, I have a question about that. Do you know how to work the system, or is that all part of 210? Because I'm like,
no,
we got this and this and this, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. And when you rattle those off, people go, okay, sign me up, right? I don't know how
Yeah.
to work the system. I just know that it's a product that gives peace of mind and really works. And Mark has been an excellent source to go to whenever I have a question for him. If there's a new, if there's a new tweak in the system, like they just actually started offering $100 towards changing your keys for your house. So when a seller moves or a buyer moves, you can get your keys changed, and there's $100 certificate you can get for changing your keys. And everybody should change their locks, their locks after they move in. So I don't know know how to work the system, but I know how the system works really well from personal experience, my own plus my clients. Yeah.
Plus,
right.
Marianne, you always start your coverage with your listings. You're very good at putting the warranty initially at the listing time. And
Yes.
and for those of you watching, that does greatly enhance the overall service experience. And the warranty is initiated at listing and then transferred over to the buyer later on. Just a little insight there.
Oh, I like that.
But Marianne,
Marianne,
I have to admit, Marianne's been kind of a little modest here in her introduction. I want to introduce Marianne in a more proper form.
do it.
Marianne is truly, truly a leader, not only in volume of sales, but in what she does in the community there in Livingston County and Brighton Howell. I've known Marianne for almost, it's got to be 20 years. You have not aged, I have. But with that said, Marianne is not only a top producer in Livingston County, well known there. She is partner in her own brokerage there, as also called Partners Professionals. Correct me, Professional Partners Real Estate. Correct, Marianne? The name
You're
of the company?
close.
Okay.
Flip. Partners Real Estate
Yeah,
Professionals.
we
Yes.
got to put a plug in there for the
Yeah.
company and
Yeah.
place and great group there. Oh, look at the flag here. Anyways, with that said, besides her sales leadership and her business savvy, she has also been a former president of the Board of Realtors in the local community, very active in the Board of Realtors, not only locally, but statewide and national. In fact, she is a Michigan director for her particular community. And also, you were Realtor of the Year, right? At one point, a few years back.
Yep. Yes.
So
Yep.
I wanted to introduce Marianne in her true her true light. So thank you
I
again.
love that. Mark, thank you. Good job on that intro. I think Marianne was like, oh, this is good. You know what? Marianne's going to hire you, Mark, to do all of her intros from now on. So
Yeah.
that's the way it's going to roll. Marianne, you've been in business for such a long time at such a high level, which is awesome to see. And so can you give us any insight as to how you would suggest an agent uses home warranty to get more business? Because a lot of people, like I said, just see it as, oh, it's just home warranty. But how do you use it tactfully?
One of the unique things about this is my clients who typically I've had, a generational referral business from clients that I first started with, and now I'm selling their kids or grandkids. And all of them have had a home warranty over the years. So I don't really have to sell it anymore. My clients are selling it for me because they're saying, Marianne, you got to make sure they get a home warranty when they list their house. Marianne, you make sure they're getting a home warranty when they're buying a home. And again, it's about sharing those stories with your clients when you're getting a listing about the ability to, when you list your house, if something goes wrong during the term of the listing or during the inspection time frame, this will cover you. So if you have an issue with a hot water heater, or if you have an issue with, I had an issue recently with a furnace. I had an issue recently with garage doors openers. Those things are not things that you enjoy fixing during the process of your home. And if they have the peace of mind that this warranty covers them during the time it's listed, so that the buyer doesn't have to worry about it when they're getting an offer, and they don't have to worry about this being a complex situation to try and manage during the negotiations. It takes one more piece of the puzzle out about people having anxious times when they're negotiating. So
I like that. Marianne, do people typically, your clients, past clients that you've put into a home warranty here, do they typically go to you with any of these challenges, or do they reach out to, let's say, 210 Home Warranty directly?
They have the ability to reach out directly to 210. They can do it on the phone, or they can do it through the computer, just to put through their website. Once in a while, I will get phone calls from people that say, hey, I don't think my washer and dryer are working properly. I know I have that home warranty. What should I do? And then I'll walk them through the process again.
I kind of like those though. It's kind of like almost like a concierge service. You can treat it that way. If you do get those calls, right, you can redirect them over to 210 and be like, yeah, we've got you covered. Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, and I really want to recommend and enforce when you do need service that the quickest way to get a response and get the ball rolling is through our agent portal. It's very simple to use, and that's where you take advantage of the $100 rebate or reimbursement for the, rekeying of the house with your own locksmith, by the way, and or apply it towards new lock hardware. So that site is also the same site where when you do need service to start the process, it will expedite a lot of things, because with the current economy and coming out of the pandemic, there's labor shortages, and I don't want people to wait and hold. They don't have to. So I'm here to help build the customer experience to the highest level possible.
I like that.
But one thing I want to add to Marianne, a lot of agents that promote the warranty, like Marianne, one thing they have in common is that you notice it's just part of the deal. It's not really an add-on. It's like title insurance. It's just homeowner insurance. It's just all inclusive, and it's not really. And when you sell it that way, it's so much easier for the consumer to buy into it even if they're not aware of it. And a likelihood of a claim or need of our services is about 1 in 2. And during the pandemic, it's probably higher than that, because we're using our systems a lot more and more wear and tear. And we have like a 97.5 approval rate and service. So so it's well worth the investment, especially with the pricing of housing nowadays and the bidding war going on.
Yeah. Question for Marianne. Marianne, do you typically pay for it for your sellers or buyers, or is this something you have the seller or the buyer pay for?
Well, typically my client pays for it. And it's part of the negotiations. If you're asking for it as a buyer, and in today's marketplace where the pricing of houses is escalating beyond craziness,
True.
used to be the sellers would offer it all the time. And now I just say, if the seller doesn't agree, if I'm working with a buyer to offer that, we need to actually include that in part of your purchase agreement, because likelihood of them fixing anything that we find in an inspection is going to be limited. So you better buy this now so that when you move in the house, that you don't get a surprise that you're not expecting.
I love that you set that expectation because it does help. All right. I like that. So at the very beginning, you were kind of itemizing everything that you've been able to get.
Yeah.
I'd like to go through a story of you telling me one time that the home warranty came through for you and the process it involves, because some people think it's a very complicated process, right? So I want you to tell me the story and tell me either how complicated or how easy it was.
So, for instance, well, we're in November, right? So it was about 2 years ago, and our house is 20 years old. We have 2 furnaces. The coldest weekend of the year, our furnace quit. And I called a furnace guy just to say, hey, is there something that I need to do? Is there a switch I need to flip or something simple that wouldn't require me to be making the next step to call the home warranty company? Nope, it was not working. So I put in the claim online. It came back and it says, we have sent out your request for service. You'll be hearing from somebody within the next 24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
I got a phone call from the company that's located in Flint area. They said, we'll be out to look at your furnace. They were out within, I believe it was like 24 hours. And they came out and they said, they looked at it. They made the call to 210 and said, we need a brand new furnace here. They have a cracked heat exchanger and it needs to be replaced. So they ordered a new furnace. It came in probably within 5 days. It came out, replaced it. We got the warranty, the extended warranty on that, and had heat again. Fortunately, we still had one furnace, so the house was a little bit warm, but that's, patience in our industry right now and in our timeframes is really important with understanding what the lack of supply that there is, plus the lack of providers there are. Now that was 2 years ago, but still they answered it promptly. They installed it. I had a brand new furnace. And then 3 weeks later, the next furnace went and the same thing happened again.
Okay. Well, Mark, I'm going to you on this one because I want to understand the process on the back end. You've been with 210 for a while. Take me through the process. If I go through a claim, just like what Marianne said, and let's say it is my furnace that shuts down, what should I do first? How long should I expect you and your company to help me out in the current climate?
I'm glad you asked it because I really want realistic expectations out there. Home warranties, regardless of who they are not designed for emergency service. They're there to that, and in a lot of cases now, even if they didn't have a home warranty, they're not going to have someone there within an hour, especially with the new world we live in because lack of contractors. But basically, like I said, you initiate. We have 3 different ways. Online is probably the most effective today, as I said before.
Okay.
Basically, you're going to register. You're going to, put in your email address, your address. The system kind of will locate you already, and then you develop a password for future reference and a login. Like anything else you do, like going online to check out your bank account, maybe, and then the next page that comes up is pretty simple. It says, "Do you need to make a service request or a new service request?" You just click it. It's like a box. You just click it, and all the items that you could think that you would be in the house, you find the one that applies to you. You check off that item. You basically, it will ask you a little quick summary of what's going on. You can write it in. And then it will say something to the order. We'll try to ask you if the brand or the model number, if you have it. It's not required, but the brand is usually easy to put in because you can see it. And then it will tell you either who the contractor is referred out there, or it will say, if you're a little bit on the different outskirts, it would say, we will look for someone. We'll be back with you within so many hours, and usually 24 hours, I think, sometimes 48 hours. And but most of the time, it will give you the name of the contractor that we have referred it to. It will give you their name, their phone number, but we also ask you to allow that contractor 24 hours to call you. And I have a claim on my own home, and that's exactly how it worked out. I didn't have to call them direct. They called me and made the appointment. So it's a pretty straightforward process. And that's one of the reasons why I think do the Rekey initiative for the $100 gift back to them, because it's an incentive for them to check out our portal, to get used to it, and they get a reward for it. But when they really need service, they have experience with it, so it makes it for a better experience down the road. We want to make customers for life. We want them to renew. So
I like that. I like that a lot. So, what about the Rekeying service? Can you tell me how that works? Like as soon as
the beauty of it is how simple it is, and it's unique to 210, and that it's more of a rebate or a gift or a reimbursement, I should say. But basically, once you register on your homeowners portal, you have a 45-day window thereafter of closing to either go get your own locksmith, get the house rekeyed, and then once you get the paid receipt from the locksmith, you just download it, and the turnover time is really quick. They're moving as quick as 2 weeks, and reimbursing the homeowner. And then if you prefer not to do the rekey, or maybe you did it right when you close, you still have another opportunity to apply it to a nice lock. So I tell some people, get that fancy lock you always wanted on the front door. Make that house stand out. Go to Home Depot, whoever. I'm sorry, I shouldn't use names like that, but the local hardware store, and buy that lock and turn in that receipt, and you'll get the money back. And I also supply the agents now, if they want it, an actual certificate that they can put. It's a fillable certificate that they can send the buyer. And even if the agent was the selling agent or listing agent, they still should do this, by the way, because it's a good way to build referrals. And this fillable certificate, you put in the buyer's name, the agent's name, it just reinforces to the buyer to take advantage of this when you have the 210 coverage.
All right, Marianne, going back to you, what are some best practices that you think agents in general should be using or should be doing when it comes to home warranty?
You need to be offering it to every client for an option to, if it's not being available to them, and request them to seriously consider doing it. I mean, your average cost for any kind of repair is, Mark, what's an estimate of an average cost for an average repair? You know,
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna average the average paid claim is average now is probably $600 to $700.
And that's
That's gone up.
And to buy a home warranty, it's $549 or $579 right now. And
It's
if you add on this
$549,
central layer, it's another $60.
Yeah, Central Air is always included for the buyer with us on both our plans. But our Supreme, who I strongly recommend, is $649. Now, I had an actual claim that was, resolved today, and it was a house in West Bloomfield area. It was approved. The house was, for 2 furnaces at once, by the way. But because the homeowner has Supreme coverage, which is $100 more, it saved them an additional $2,200. And basically what happened was all the code issues and modifications that were needed, because the units were 40 years old each. And that's another unique factor to 210. There's no age limit or depreciation based on age with us. But by having the upgrade, that homeowner basically got another $2,200 in resolving their issue. So
I like that.
I really promote. It's just as hard to ask for $549 as it is $649.
So a question here for either of you, because as I'm listening to you, I'm like, okay, we're talking about home warranty. Thanksgiving's coming up. End of the year is coming up. Do any of you see, I guess Marianne would be, do you do this? And Mark, do you see this? Where you gift it as a home warranty, Marianne, or Mark, you see other agents gift a home warranty when it's about to run out for any sellers or homeowners after you, like a past client type thing? Anybody do that?
I've seen it done, but it's not common. In fact, at 210, we have various marketing materials where the agent would like to do that as a marketing tool to get the listing or to keep their people loyal if it's in a competitive situation. I have various marketing tools that basically say, if you list your house with me or work with me, I'll take care of the home warranty. That's a way to get them to do business with you, maybe. But it's not overly common, but it's out there. It's ideal for newer agents that are trying to build up their business, tell you the truth. If you're getting started, it's nice. It could be.
And I think as part of that process too, for purposes of being compliant with, RESPA, if you offer to one, you have to offer to all. So, there are situations that are very unique where something's happened at the very last minute, something falls through, and for peace of mind, you want to do the best thing for your client. And actually, I have clients moving from California to here into Michigan, and they offered a home warranty on their house in California. They had it inspected prior to them putting on the market, just so that if there was anything they felt needed to be, taken care of, they would do that. And when they moved here, and we put an offer in along with 8 other people for the house that they wanted here, that seller would not offer a home warranty. So they told the buyers on their end, you know, we're closing pretty soon, but we had to pay for our home warranty. And those buyers felt so bad for them because it's been a little bit of a balance with trying to close in a timely manner. And their buyers had a death in the family. So we're having to extend on my end here.
Mhm.
Those buyers told my clients, the buyers, they felt so bad for what was going on. They were going to pay for the home warranty that the seller was going to pay for them, because they understood that they were buying one on this end.
Oh,
So talk about gratitude and being grateful. It was a very heartwarming story yesterday, and in the midst of trying to work everything out for different parties in California and Arkansas and Michigan. And it was a nice moment to share that people are, you know, very understanding for everybody's situations and paying it forward.
and Marianne, you last summer we had that. I think one of your agents, one of your peers, Kendra, I think,
Oh,
didn't she have
yes.
that house in Farmington where
Yes.
they were not going to even get the warranty? Can you tell that story?
Right. Sure. So we, you know, as we understood, this summer was just very difficult trying to get your buyer's offer accepted. So we discussed the different methods of how that could happen and make sure your client is getting a home warranty. Fast forward,
Wow.
after closing, they're in their home with their kids and their air conditioner catches fire. And the fire department's called. And they're outside, and thank goodness nobody was hurt. And, you know, the house was okay, but he called Kendra and he said, Kendra, this is what happened last night. You know, fire department showed up, our air conditioner caught fire. Do I call my insurance company? Do I call the home warranty company? What do I do? And she said, well, I'm really glad that we got that home warranty, number one, because, you know, gosh, this isn't a perfect example of why you should have one. And she said, call your insurance company, see if they will cover it. And if not, follow up with 210. And we get claims every month from 210 as far as what they pay out. And I think that there was 7 or 8 claims for that house, of which 5 of them were as a result of the heating and cooling
Wow.
for that property. So
It was well over $4,000 or $5,000 that 210 paid out, honoring their service commitment to them.
Mark, is that something that you do with all real estate agents, where when something is filed, you let the agent know so that we stay on top of it?
Very important. We do it both at a corporate level where it's sent to them through their agent portal. I've been told, but I personally write out my own cards. Anything over a certain amount, reminding them that we did take care of it, and a lot of times it's a surprise that the claim was paid out, I find. So yeah, I will write. It depends on the AE for the company will do it electronically through the agent's portal. They'll get a list of their claims paid, but some AEs, myself included, will maybe go one step further and write out their own postcard or note saying we took care of this at this address.
Right.
Right.
And I actually have a stack of postcards about probably about 3/4 of an inch high from all the ones that Mark sends me. And if people ever ask me a question about how does this work, I look at that. I have that stack of postcards. I'm like, see all of these postcards? These are from Mark, who is my representative for 210. And he sends me a note every time a claim is made. And this is worth its weight in gold for you to consider having a home warranty.
Right. It's probably the most valuable marketing tool a home warranty can do, is that constant reinforcement of the service card being sent.
I love that. I love that. Well, you know what? I think that is important because it also shows, Mark, that you specifically, you're working with 210, but you've got a great process to keep the agent in the loop, to remind them that this is a really important piece of what we do, right? So I like that a lot, Marianne. Marianne, thanks for being on. That's super, super awesome. And as I was looking you up before, I'm like, Marianne is an amazingly impressive person, real estate agent. So congrats on that. Very cool.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate the opportunity to be on here. I know all during COVID, I was on many of these opportunities where you had a number of guests on. So it's great to be able to share with other people in the industry valuable tips and tools.
Well, Marianne, we might need to bring you on just a separate webinar as well, just to go
Oh.
into how you do business, which would be fun.
Yeah. I definitely would agree with that. I would agree.
Oh.
And remember, everyone, the warranties are a great tool to prevent lawsuits. A good home warranty program will catch a lot of the snowflake issues before it becomes a big snowstorm of litigation. And E&O claims and buyer remorse currently are on the increase. So a warranty could be a good way to prevent that type of buyer remorse
Very true. Thank
in
you,
the
Mark.
current market.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marianne. And also, we placed
Thank
the
you.
link in the chat. So remember, it's 210 home warranty. Have an awesome day. And if I don't
Thank
see
you.
you again, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank
too.
you. Thanks for having us. Take care.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.